Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree, and I'm up to the point where I'm going to be my top 25, and this time it is top 25 worst comic book slash superhero movies. And there are some rubbish movies on this list, and there are some somewhat beloved movies on this list, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Number 25 is Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. I'm gonna be frank. I couldn't fucking finish this movie. It was so god awful. I remember just starting it like a couple of different times with my friend who was obsessed with it, and every time I would start it, I would say, "Hey man, no offense, but I can't finish this movie," and I would just leave. I've never seen Hellboy 2 all the way to the end, and I likely never will. This is going to lead me to number 24, which is the first Hellboy. Again, I did watch Hellboy all the way to the end, which is why I attempted to watch Hellboy 2 with my friend because he was obsessed with Hellboy. And I'm going to be frank, I couldn't fucking get into Hellboy either. It just didn't interest me. The character didn't interest me. The story didn't interest me. The plot didn't interest me. Whatever was going, the side characters or whatever, nothing about it interested me. It was just boring. So I got nothing out of it. Number 23 is Spawn. Look, if you know anything about comic book movies, you knew Spawn was going to be on this list. You may have expected it to be higher on this list. Again, I've never finished Spawn, so I couldn't put it higher on the list because I never finished it. So there is that. So for me, it's like one of those, it's bad enough. I know it's bad, but I don't need to finish it to confirm it's bad. I've seen enough of it. I'm already confirmed it's bad. Number 22 is the only movie on this list I have never seen and will never see, and you will not convince me to see it, and I will never watch it, and nothing is going to twist my arm into watching this movie. It's Deadpool 2. I fucking hated Deadpool. Hated it with a fiery fucking passion. And I've always hated the character, and I just did not enjoy Deadpool. So I have no reason, no motivation to watch Deadpool 2 because I don't need to watch it to know it's going to suck. I've already seen the first one, and I already know I don't like Deadpool, and I already know I don't like meta humor, and I don't like breaking the fourth wall, and I don't like what's his fucking face. So there is literally no reason for me to watch Deadpool 2. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. Which is why it's low on the list, as are the ones I haven't seen or haven't seen all the way through, because that's where they belong on the list. Number 21 is Captain America: The First Avenger. My beef with this movie is not because it's waving the flag, go USA, U.S. soldiers save the day, blah, blah, blah. You know, the patriotic message behind the movie. I don't really care about that. That's not my problem with this movie. My problem with this movie is, one, it's too goddamn long for what it is. It takes too long to get to the fucking point. It's too fucking slow. Captain America isn't a very interesting superhero, and I don't need a whole movie dedicated to his origin story because he's not that interesting to begin with. So I'm not a fan of Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 20, number 19, and number 18 are Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3 in that order. These probably could have been higher on the list simply for the fact that I hate Tony Stark. I hate Iron Man. There is no fictional character in the history of science fiction or fantasy or horror or anything else that I hate more than Tony Stark. His movies did absolutely nothing for me. And yes, I saw all three of them as they came out because one, everybody did because this was the start of the MCU, and two, I watched them with friends who were obsessed with him. Number 17 is Thor 2. I don't even remember the subtitle to this movie. I just remember not liking it. It was boring. It didn't make sense. It wasn't interesting. I didn't enjoy this movie at all. And it is very forgettable. I can't tell you what happens in this movie because I don't fucking remember, and I can't be bothered to go back and remember to watch it again. I just don't give a shit. Number 16 is probably going to piss some people off, probably more than a couple of these already may have. Number 16 is Sin City. I'm going to be honest, I just don't fucking get this movie. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Moving on. Number 15, and this is the only one in the franchise on the list because I had to fill out the list with other movies that deserved it more. But I am not a fan of Blade. Truth be told, I'm not really a big fan of vampires to begin with. So this whole half human, half vampire superhero concept doesn't interest me. Number 14 I know is going to anger some people, but it made the list, and one of the reasons it made the list, I did enjoy it. I did see it in theaters. But it still goes on the list of worst superhero movies to me because one, it's not as good as the first one. This is a sequel. And two, upon rewatching it, it's hard to watch. It is not as good as the original. And it just doesn't click with me. And this is Spider-Man 2 from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe. Mostly what did it for me is Peter Parker losing his powers and then having to get them back. That just didn't make sense to me. That it was all in his head. I just fuck off. Number 13, 12, and 11 are somewhat of a trilogy. Number 13 is The Wolverine. I couldn't finish this one either. Number 12 is Logan. I didn't enjoy this. I did finish it, but I didn't care for it. And number 11 is Wolverine Origins, or X-Men Origins Wolverine, or whatever. So going in descending order, The Wolverine, I couldn't even finish it because, one, I hate Wolverine as a character. Logan as a character. He is my number 2 most hated character. Maybe not. Maybe I hate him. Maybe I do hate Logan more than I hate Iron Man. I don't know. I really hate Wolverine. No, let me backpedal. I hate Iron Man. I don't hate Wolverine. I don't hate him. I just think he's overrated, and he's not as good as people make him out to be, I think is what it is. I don't like him as much as Cyclops. He's the better leader. I know Wolverine is not technically the leader, but Cyclops is the better X-Man. Logan, I have nitpicks with Logan. The timeline doesn't add up. And I'm not going to sit here and go through the timeline to show you it doesn't add up. I'm just going to say it didn't fucking add up. It doesn't make sense. So moving on. And you and I can both agree. We can all agree Origins Wolverine sucks. I don't have to sell you on that. That movie just sucks balls. Moving on. We're into the top 10 worst comic book superhero movies of all time. Number 10 does have a lot of fans. And I'm probably going to get some negative comments for this if people are still watching this video. And number 10 Number 10 is The Dark Knight Rises. I don't even know where to begin. I liked Batman Begins. I liked it a lot. I loved The Dark Knight. I'm pretty sure The Dark Knight was my number one greatest superhero movie of all time on my previous list. I'm pretty sure of that. If not number one, it was number two. But I'm pretty sure it was The Dark Knight was the greatest superhero movie of all time. So it's not like I don't like Christopher Nolan Batman. I do. This movie was just too goddamn long, for one. It was too fucking boring. It was trying to tie up loose ends from the first movie that were already tied up. There weren't loose ends from the first movie, but for some reason they thought maybe there were. Bane was not a very interesting character. The whole villain seizes the city and the US government can't interfere is rubbish. That would never fucking happen. And all the cops sitting around in the sewer twiddling their thumbs while the city goes to shit. Fuck off. Fuck right off. And, of course, breaking Batman's back and then healing him back to health. There's too much wrong with this movie. I can't get into it. I lied. Number 9 is another one I have not seen. So, oops. I guess I didn't look at this list very carefully. I started to watch number 9 2 or 3 times, and I just never got very far. Number 9 is Green Lantern. Now, you just sighed a deep sigh of relief, like, oh good, she doesn't like Green Lantern. Yeah, no shit. There's nothing to like about it. Number 1, remember when I said I didn't like that asshole back when he was Deadpool? Why would I like him as Green Lantern? I don't like that asshole. And number 2, Green Lantern isn't at all one of my favorite of the Justice League. He's like maybe my least favorite of the Justice League characters. And the least interesting. Well, I wouldn't say least interesting. He's just not my favorite. I don't care for the Green Lantern. So, this movie didn't appeal to me. Number 8, listen. Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. Okay? I have problems with the MCU Spider-Man, but you can breathe easy. Okay? I'll tell you right now, the MCU Spider-Man movies are not on this list. I'm not that fucking dumb. But Amazing Spider-Man is. And the reason why Amazing Spider-Man is on this list is, 1, it came out too soon after Spider-Man 3. There wasn't enough time between Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man to distance ourselves from Spider-Man 3 to justify a reboot that soon. So there's already that. And 2, it's just not a good movie. And Andrew Garfield is not a good Peter Parker. Don't even at me. That being said, just like its immediate prequel, we'll say, number 7 is Spider-Man 3. Oh my fucking god, where do I begin? Emo Parker? Jesus fucking Christ. Sandman, boring as shit. God damn fucking Eric Foreman pretending to be Venom? Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck right off. Number 6 is The Punisher. Look, I don't like The Punisher. Let's move on. Number 5 is Ghost Rider, and number 4 is Ghost Rider Vengeance. I did watch Ghost Rider. I do not like Nicolas Cage. I don't hate Nicolas Cage. Sidebar, Nicolas Cage is one of those actors that if he's in a movie, to me, that says don't watch this movie until somebody convinces me. Because I haven't seen enough Nicolas Cage movies that I like to just go in with the safe assumption like, alright, this should be good. My assumption is this is going to suck, and I was right. Ghost Rider did suck. Now, I did watch Ghost Rider Vengeance, but I didn't pay attention to it. I had it on the PlayStation, playing in the background while I was playing Minecraft on the laptop, and I was just passively observing it because I was bored as fuck, and I just wanted to watch it so I could say I did. But I couldn't fucking get into it. Number three, um, number three is Batman and Robin. I don't have to sell you on Batman and Robin is rubbish. You already know this. I could try to fake defend it if I was a good troll, but I'm not really a troll. That's not my purpose. That's not my intention. No, I don't like Batman and Robin. I saw this piece of shit opening night in theaters with my dad because I liked the 3 previous Batman movies, and I saw Batman Returns. God, the naming of these movies is confusing. I saw Batman Returns in the theater, missed my opportunity to see Batman Forever, which was, for the longest time, my favorite Batman movie. And I didn't get to see that in theater. And so my dad thought he would take me to go see Batman and Robin to make it up for me. Oh my God, I wish he hadn't. Now, my dad, who grew up with the Adam West Batman, loves Batman and Robin. Go figure. It's the one most like the Adam West Batman. And my dad happens to like George Clooney. I am indifferent on George Clooney. I can take him or leave him. I don't have an opinion on George Clooney. Number 2, I did see, and I hated every fucking moment of this movie. This is the first Deadpool. Oh my fucking God. Not interesting. Stupid superpower. What the fuck is his superpower? He can talk to the audience? Give me a fucking break. Oh yeah, I guess he's acrobatic, has some super strength, and he can't die, allegedly. Come on, he's just a less interesting Wolverine or a really fucking shitty Spider-Man knockoff. There's nothing to like about Deadpool. At all. Now, you're in suspense if you're still watching this. You're like, holy shit, this list is all over the place. What made number 1? Is it going to be a Jim Carrey superhero movie? Is it going to be, Elektra? No, because that's on my other list. You already know this if you watch the other list. So you're sitting here like, what is number 1? What's the worst superhero movie of all time? And if you guessed Daredevil, pat yourself on the back. Oh, Jesus Christ, this movie. Where do I fucking begin? 1, fucking what's his face? Ben Affleck. Wrong fucking choice. 2, Daredevil was never an interesting character to begin with. Fucking blind ninja? What? No. Plus, his alter ego was a goddamn lawyer. How fucking likable is a scummy ass piece of shit lawyer? Come on. The dude with the fucking tattoo on his face, the bad guy, the villain, rubbish. The action sucks. The direction sucks. The art direction sucks. The camera, the lighting sucks. I mean, there's literally no redeeming values to this movie. Nothing. Which is why Daredevil is the worst comic book or superhero movie of all time. It's just the worst of the fucking worst. To this day, I have not seen a superhero movie that pisses me off as much as Daredevil does.